Hey everyone, this is Neonism back with another paint scheme tier list, this time for the Daytona 500. Doing it before the duels so we get all of the entries and not just the cars that make it into the big show. I believe there will be 5 cars going home, which is pretty fantastic. I mean, not good that there's going to be 5 cars going home, but just having 45 cars on the entry list is pretty great. Just a little promo off the bat with this little flashbang splash screen that you got. This giant neon board in front of you. I'm Neonism. I make content for iRacing, both custom paint schemes as well as tools for everyone to use, painters and drivers alike. If you want to make your car look awesome, you can go to neonism.artstation.com/store or scan this QR code that'll go right to it. Or if you're already a user on SimWrap Market, you can find my content there. But let's get right into it here. Going to be a little different this week. We're using these awesome preseason pictures that they used to do, and they brought them back. So be a little bit different. I'm going to go through all of them. In the future, I'll be keeping cars that have already been ranked on the tier list, and the videos will be a little bit shorter. But I wanted to use these paint schemes because they had all of them. NASCAR's website didn't have all these pictures, but Jayski's does. So we'll get right into it. Ross Chastain's new Busch Light car kind of removed some of the blue from it. Not a big fan of that, but I think this scheme, with it being more vectorized, less photographic than last year's, I think that'll lend to it being more modular and probably them having more different paint schemes. I think this paint scheme, or the primary Busch Light paint scheme, only ran like 2 or 3 times last year. I'm a pretty big Ross Chastain fan, and that's what I remember. Pretty much every Busch Light car was different, which is something Busch Light does, which is great. This car is solid, and that's going to go straight into the A tier. Next up, Austin Cindric in the Discount Tire car. Same paint scheme that's been run on Discount Tire for the past 15 years since Brad Kozlowski was running it. Back in I think it was Nationwide at the time. So this paint scheme's been around for a long time. It doesn't look bad. It's pretty much iconic at this point. I do like the black number on the white background. If you watch my previous video, you know I like the dark number. Same with Chastain's car, and we know that's going to be chrome because it's Trackhouse, which is fantastic. But Discount Tire scheme, that's going to go in B tier. Next up, we saw this last week at the Clash, and I know they fixed the nose. I saw some stuff on X about that. At the Clash, it was this big orange stripe, but now it's more of these slashes and stuff. And with just the silver, looks fantastic at night. Same position as it was and will be. That's going to be an S tier car. Next up, Noah Gragson, Rush Truck Centers. Looks fairly similar. Rush Trucks obviously has their branding down very well. I know this is a little bit different, though I'm not quite sure what is different compared to previous years, but it's solid. Fantastic use of all of the door space that the forward number allows, and also he has some of these logos up front. I'm not quite sure what all is there. I see K&N. I can make that out, and I know that logo. I forget what it is though. But kind of simulating the contingency decals that everybody wants. But I almost want to put it in A tier just because of that. Because everybody says, "Oh, why isn't there contingency decals?" Well, there's no contingency program because it's all encompassing now. These are all single supplier parts. They don't have to have contingency decals because of that. But you can put logos there if you really want. Like Trackhouse could put logos here, but they don't because they aren't going to be big enough because they have a ton of sponsors. so they don't do it. Same with Penske here. They have a bunch of alternate sponsors that they rotate through, and they wouldn't have room up front. And I don't know if it's a decision by the sponsors themselves or the teams. I'm not quite sure how that works, but we have these guys doing it here. So I'm gonna make that a B. That's a solid B car. There's honestly, like, I've looked through these. There's a lot of really fantastic paint schemes this year. Like, they're going all out. I don't know if there was a big shakeup in uh, the designer stuff or kind of what's going on with it, but everybody's looking really sharp this year. I think they're the designers and everybody, the sponsors especially. I don't think it's the sponsors, or sorry, I don't think it's the designers, because the designers know what to do with the space. They understand composition, space, white space, all these different aspects of the car, and they want to make fantastic looking race cars. But I think a lot of times it's the sponsors. They don't want to have their logos cut off with like the wheel well in the back or what have you, and you get some stuff that doesn't quite look right. And you hear some me mention that in the Clash video. But B car right here, solid for Noah Gragson. Gonna definitely stand out, and I think more teams should start doing the non-contingency mini logos. I'll call them mini logos because they're not contingencies. More mini logos up front definitely fills out that little bit of space, especially on the single digit car numbers. Next up, Kyle Larson's number 5. You know what I said last week in the Clash. Fantastic looking race car. It looks good on every car it goes on. Ever since for the past 25 years or so, this car has looked fantastic. No need to change it. Sorry, Kyle Larson fans. There's no need to change this paint scheme. It's always going to look good. And he just signed a 5-year deal, I think. I heard on the qualifying broadcast. That's an A tier car right there. Not an S because it doesn't jump out, but can't be lower than A with how good it looks. Brad Keselowski's number 6 Castrol car. Chrome number. Castrol always makes fantastic looking cars. He won the throwback race with the Castrol car a couple years ago. I think this is going to be an S tier. This looks fantastic. I don't really have much to say beyond that. Greg Biffle number, font, fantastic to see that. If you watched the second to last episode of the Race for the Seat, then yeah, that was pretty cool. I was very much caught off guard because I was cooking while the beginning of the episode was running, and then I sit down while I'm eating and I watch the episode, and Greg Biffle shows up, and that I kind of lost it there for a second. But I'm loving all the Greg Biffle references and just tributes on all these cars. Next up, Daniel Suarez in his new ride, number 7 Freeway, went with him over to Spire, and solid looking car. I love the green number. Don't see enough alternate color numbers. Granted, I say that, and there's a red 6 here, a blue 5, an orange 3, and a chrome blue 1. But I think I feel like we're going to see more of this going on, and I think this is a B tier car. They could maybe do a little bit different stuff. Personally, I wouldn't cut off the blue with the 7 there. Maybe kind of change these things a little tiny bit. And like, I don't know why this is clashing. I don't know why it's not moved back a couple inches. It might be because of the new Chevy body. There's this little shelf here. I don't know if it's coming through on the video, but If you go on the iRacing and you look at the model and in the template, there's a little shelf right here, and I don't think they want it. They want the logos to go over that. So I would personally work around that, like give a little space here so it's not cut off. Pull these up, give that a gap. Maybe pull the 7 down a tiny bit. But I do like how it wraps around. So I'm going to give this a B. Next up, we have the pole sitter, Kyle Busch, the Zone New Jalapeno Lime. I don't know if I would like that. Maybe in a drink, but I really like this paint scheme. I saw somebody somewhere on social media say that they didn't like the Zone car. They said it was like the worst looking car they've ever seen. But I really like this, especially with the red fire. It just pops like that little bit more. And looking at it up close here, the gradient from the green to yellow to red on the 8, that looks fantastic. The blue stripe, there's so much going on, and not in a bad way. There's so much going on, and it looks really good. It looks pulled together, it markets it well. I really like the green stripe at the bottom of the rocker panel. That's really cool. I didn't see that in the broadcast, but I was watching it on my phone at work, so that is what it is. But I'm going to give this an A tier paint scheme rating. And again, I think everything looks so good that I don't even know if we're going to get down to F. I added that just in case, but we'll see what's going on. Next up, Chase Elliott's number 9. Real life, this car looks way better than in the renders on the pictures on the NASCAR website. Easily an A. This is chrome. This number is chrome. So I almost want to give this an S. But I don't know if this is like a super speedway special that they have because of the yellow rocker panel. Man, that actually does look really good. And like I said in the Clash video, I really liked the Chase Elliott's white car with the blue, especially from like back when he won the championship. I loved that paint scheme. I didn't think they needed to change it at all. I haven't liked the past couple years with the all blue and those weird lines. I don't think that made sense. It didn't flow with the car. It didn't flow with the design. Excuse me, I need another drink. But if this is only for the super speedways, like this little bit, because color balance is a big thing. Like you can do a lot of stuff, but when you start painting the rocker panel a different color, and I'm going to be saying paint, I know it's a wrap. You don't need to tell me. I know it's a wrap. But I'm old enough that these cars were all painted when I started watching, so I'm going to be calling them paints. But the wraps allow you to do a lot more. I think Chase Elliott's car is an S. I actually really like this paint scheme. So we're starting off really strong in the first 9 cars, A, S, A, and B. Next up, Ty Dillon, number 10. I think this number's shiny too, I believe, because of the reflections on it. I don't know why they don't add more like chrome and stuff, because I think I mentioned it again in the Clash video. William Byron won at Darlington with the Chrome Illusion throwback. So why not do some crazy standout stuff? Where are the holographic cars? If you know my content, I want some holographic cars. But this is pretty standard. Good use of space though. Not a big fan of following the wheel wells, but it makes sense. It's not super crazy. I think they match the red and the green Grizzly cars during the clash, so it makes sense for that. But I think this is going to be the first C tier car. Next up, Denny Hamlin, really fast hot rod this week. It looks like national debt relief. I like this paint scheme, but I don't like how small the gap is between the 11 and the white of the remainder of the car. If I would have designed this, I would have dropped that area down to the rocker panel where that shelf is, and just kind of like make it a bit larger to add more of a gap. It looks kind of weird on TV. Maybe even make the 11 a totally different color. That's just me. I don't know what color it would be. It makes sense as white, but if there was just a little bit more space between the white 11 and the large white space for the remainder of the car. So that's going to be a B here for this. Next up, Ryan Blaney and his massive mustache. Good man. When did he grow that? I definitely like this more with the blue from Peak. I believe Peak is on the hood. Looks like I haven't seen this. Ford Racing down at the bottom of the rocker panel. That's good. And the neon highlights are on the bottom. Paul Menard's neon and blue cars, as well as Jeff Gordon's neon and blue cars, heavily influenced my painting and what ended up being my favorite color combo. And I like seeing Ryan Blaney continue that. This looks better than the Clash car with the blue, so it's going to be an A tier for me. Excuse me, another drink. Talking a lot here. Next up, AJ Allmendinger, Celsius car, number 16. Biffle, number, obvious A tier. I don't have too much to say about that, so I don't get like too caught up in the whole Greg Biffle deal, but looks fantastic. Want to see it do well on Sunday. Next up, Chase Briscoe in the 19. Bass Pro Shops tracker car. This does not look as good as what Austin Dillon is running. I believe I gave it a B tier last week. Seeing it in person, little bit different. I think it does look better. Once again, fantastic use of space. You can kind of see why some of these cars aren't doing, especially the double-digit cars, don't have any decals here because of spacing on the numbers and such. But good-looking car, solid. Really similar to last year, but I'm going to give this a B. I think I give it a B at the Clash, so that's going to be the same. I'll have to go back and check everything once we start rolling through the season here. Christopher Bell, DeWalt and Interstate batteries. I know this car is a little bit controversial, at least from what I remember from last year. Some people like it, some people don't. With the two-tone kind of deal going on, they just want to maximize sponsors and do all that, which is fine. I think they both make sense. I think it's blended well behind the 20, but kind of similar to last year. Nothing really crazy going on. I'm really interested to see what the individual paints will be, like what the DeWalt car will be and what the Interstate Batteries car will be. So this is going to be a B for now. Next up, Josh Berry with the number 21. I think I gave this an A last week at the Clash. I think it's going to be the same this week. Gold Chrome 21 classic font. Oh, it says David Pearson right there. That's interesting. Is that new? I haven't seen that before. But just like Kyle Washington's car, you know, whatever vehicle, age, era, generation car you put this paint scheme on, it's going to look good. It's just that solid. So that's what he's getting. Here we have Joey Logano, I believe in his villain era with a shaved head and mustache and goatee. I believe I gave this a B last week at the Clash. I think it's going to be the same, though I do think it's an improvement on the previous year's car. But out of fairness, I think it's still a B car. I do like how this looks. Looking back on it, I looked back at some of Joey's old shell cars, and it had like the orange roof with the yellow or the red roof with the yellow number, and that looks really good. It stood out. I would like to see like kind of how they used to do. Some cars still do it. Different colored spoilers, different roof numbers, that kind of thing, just to make them stand out easier in the pack. But these cars all look so different and unique. I don't know if any car really wouldn't stand out as far as that goes. I do think Trackhouse should have some more neon on it, since they're really leaning into the neon with all their like primary branding, especially with their MotoGP entry and such. Would love to see a neon one on Ross's car, but I'm obviously biased for that if you can see my channel name. And here we have Bubba Wallace in the Xfinity car. They used to be a title sponsor. Now they're just a car sponsor. Good to see they're still in the sport. But I don't know if I'm really feeling this car. It's giving me some Avatar vibes, to be honest. It looks like the floating little like spirit tree seeds kind of look. Definitely not as fun and exciting as the Robin Hood car, which is fantastic. But I don't know. I don't know if I would want more or less, because I understand like with the Xfinity fiber optics, maybe personally I would lean more into like the techie side of things. Like I like this little bit up front by the 23, but like the rest of this is just kind of like confusing and blurry. It doesn't look like much. So I would lean more into what's going on around the 23 and less into this vague tree seed Avatar kind of look. So for this, I'm gonna give that a C. Actually, it's really hard to rate these because a lot of them do look so good. So this is just like qualifying; they're off by like a couple hundredths or a couple thousandths, and being a little bit difficult on stuff. Next up, William Byron's Raptor car. I'm thinking this is just going to be a special paint scheme, because I believe the primary Raptor car has already been showed off with the new, like, it's like off neon kind of look. This is more like the, what would it be, 2024 car. I'm not as big of a fan of this as previous years, which was more like what Jeff Gordon used to run with the orange and blue all throughout. I'm not a big fan of the white. Maybe they're doing red, white, and blue for America's 250th, but still a good looking race car. I kind of like how it's separated. I would personally put more gradient into the flames. There's a little bit on the edges, which is similar to Jeff Gordon's old cars. But this is a solid B, I think. Not quite A material, but still hoping that he gets 3 in a row, because that would be amazing. Porsche got 3 in a row with the 24, so maybe the 24 can get 3 in a row at the 500. Jump to 34. Todd Gilliland, teammate to Noah Gragson, so we have these logos up front. Probably a B tier. Once again, nothing too crazy different. Again, some of these I don't know if I would say newer, but some of these brands have been on cars a bit longer, and they've kind of solidified their look, their color scheme, and kind of what they expect. So that's what I'm going to put for Gilliland here. The 34 looks kind of low. Maybe that's just me. Seems kind of low on the door. Next up, Riley Herbst, Monster. I think I made myself clear with the Clash videos. Monster cars are going to be D tier because they could do so much more, and they don't. This is the Zero Sugar, which they add a touch bit of green on the grill openings, and with this little line on the door. I think the 54, I believe the 54 is all black. Yeah, so not a huge difference. I think you could make the number green, like maybe green spoiler, green shark fins. I don't know, something make it stand out a little bit more. Here we got Zane Smith. I believe he's an open driver. Quick Tie. Not really sure what the sponsor is, but colors work well. The Q and the red 36. Chrome number again. I'm going to put this as a C tier. I think there could be a little bit more done with how loose and kind of windy this font is, and then the sharpness of the design. I think there could be more done with wrapping this into it rather than these sharp edges. But not going to be a car that runs all year, so that is what it is. And Zane Smith's Speedy Cat. Wait a minute. That's a Zane Smith. Oh, this was Chandler Smith. This is Zane Smith. Jayski messed up on that. Zane Smith. Zane Smith. But I think I'm going to go kind of similar to the Clash. The red and green, just the lime green and like bright red just doesn't quite do it for me. I know this is a different sponsor and such, but doesn't quite do it for me. That's going to be a C tier. Next up, Justin Allgaier Racing for Dale Jr. This is an easy S tier. Like, the car looks fantastic. I didn't know this number had like this fade in the background. I wonder if, I don't know if the background is chrome or kind of what's going on with that, but it looks really good. Yeah, can't really say anything about this. This looks great. Neon orange, everything matches up really well. I think all the Junior Motorsports cars look good too, so kind of see how that goes. And I'll be doing the, oh wow, and they have the blend number 40 down here on the rocker panel. That gives me some ideas. I'll be doing the Xfinity and truck cars together probably tomorrow, so look out for that video to be coming out soon as well. I want to do it before the races, before all the cars are destroyed. But moving on. Cole Custer, Haas Tooling 41. The render of this looked really good. I think it looks really good on track. Really leans into, you know, CNC machining, I think. I would like to see a chrome number. That number is moved kind of back far there, too. I wonder if NASCAR opened up the space a bit wider, because it's basically from right here where the fender ends, or where the door starts, I should say, all the way to the middle of the door. They have that space to work with. So, that's not far off of center. Like, center is right here, and this is right here. That's like 8 inches on the car, maybe a foot. So they definitely have some movement, and I didn't even notice this on Justin Allgaier's car, but he has some sponsors up front too. So the number is not moved as far as I think what people think, or they open that space up more because of people talking about things. So to me, it looks like the number space is opened up further, which people should like. I think there's less of a difference. Again, there's still no contingency, so you can't just have a block of tiny sponsors up front. They just don't exist. But if you want to put them there, you can. They put them back here, which makes sense. These are probably their alternate sponsors. They'll probably have more logos and stuff, different paint schemes throughout the year. But I think I gave this an A tier last week, and this will be an A tier this week, seeing it IRL basically. John Hunter Nemechek, number 42 Dollar Tree car. I like the callback to some of the old petty cars with the orange on the outside. Pretty similar to last year's car. Nothing really new, nothing stand out, but it's Legacy Motor Club, and they want to go for that kind of classic look. So I think they hit it. Looks like they have some new sponsors, Chips Ahoy and Ritz, on the back quarter panel here. Maybe we'll have a Chips Ahoy car. That'd be pretty cool. Just giant cookies on the side at some point this year. But giving it that retro kind of look is really cool. But nothing too stand out about this. But it doesn't look bad, so I'm going to give that a B rating. And to his teammate Eric Jones, number 43 Advent Health car. Kind of wish they would have had the orange outline for a little bit of team consistency. But this doesn't look bad at all either. I think this is also going to be a B. It looks really good. I like the color transitions in these lines and how they kind of progress. Excuse me. And Advent Health maximizing the space. I tilt all of my logos to kind of follow the lines of the cars. A lot of cars don't seem to do that. It kind of makes sense for Traveler because it's all straight lines. But when you're looking at the template, excuse me again, you kind of want to follow the lines, and they're trending upwards. So you see a lot of these cars, like the Haas car, Quick Tie, like everything's kind of going up, that positive correlation. Advent Health's doing this here, but we're going to give this a B tier as well. JJ Yaley, number 44, nice chrome, very, very chrome. That's like pure chrome. You can basically see the reflection of the cameraman in that. Built to work car. Not really familiar too much with what's going on with this car, but it looks solid for kind of a one-off team. So we're going to give that a B as well. Really good. Kind of like the black to red transition. Everything makes sense. Maximum use of space. A little extra logo up front here. Very square numbers here. But yeah, not bad looking for a one-off kind of race. And then Tyler Reddick back with Chumba Casino. I was not a fan of this at the Clash. I wasn't a fan of it last year. I'm still not really a fan of it right now. Um, this is going to be a C tier car as well. And then the reason I found Jayski's website, I was looking for Ricky Stenhouse's car because it wasn't on NASCAR's website for some reason. But Chef Boyardee, this one is really cool. Not only does it look good, great use of space, product placement, all these different aspects, but it's also a consumer product, which I think NASCAR, not too much of the fault of their own, but there has been or dwindling number of consumer facing products sponsored in NASCAR, and I think Chef Boyardee stepping up, coming into the Cup Series is really cool, especially when you see the ravioli right on the side. I'll probably buy a few cans here this week and make sure I have those in my pantry. But this is an A tier, I think, just because of those combining aspects. Um, Mostly solid red, but just because of the product placement and being a consumer facing product and a new sponsor in the Cup Series, got to give him props for that. Alex Bowman, number 48 Ally. I did like this car at the Clash. Would like to see maybe a few more neon highlights. Got him on the window tear-offs, the jack stand, and then the splitter. Easy A tier car. This one looks really good. I've seen this car from quite a few different angles. I like it a lot more than the kind of muddy texture like pattern that they had going on. I think the past 2 years. I know it was at least last year, but I think it was the last 2 years that they were doing that. Cody Ware in the 51 Jacob Construction Chevrolet. Going to Chevrolet for Rick Ware Racing. This doesn't look too bad. Would have liked to see some more different stuff going on with it since it's a long-time sponsor. I think they probably have a lot that they can do. Obviously, the 3 stripes with the J and behind the number, that looks really good. I think that's going to be an easy B tier car once again. Number 54 Monster Car for Ty Gibbs. Right down with his teammate, D tier. Please do more Monster. There's so much potential. There's so much potential. Like, I don't know what else to say. There's so much potential, and they're not taking any of it. They haven't taken any of it for 20 years. And I know these energy drink cars, they kind of stick with what they know for consistency and such. I think it's kind of different for different brands. Like Celsius, all they would have to do is like change the fruit on the side and like the highlight colors from like the default orange to anything else. An easy fix. Monster, their cans are crazy. Like, you've seen them in the store, you've felt them. They're like textured. They have all kinds of crazy artwork on them. They could do so much more with these monster cars, and they just don't. And I don't know why. I'd like to know. Anybody tell me? Next up, Ryan Preece, winner of the Clash. Viva Towels, Chrome 60 in the Greg Biffle font. Tons of awesome colors. I use Viva Towels. This is an S tier paint. I don't know what else. I don't know. There's nothing else. This is awesome. This is so cool. Like, even with the RFK stripes down at the bottom, like those have like this. I wouldn't say tie dye, but like these gradients and stuff. This looks great, and the chrome number is perfect for it. Whoever designed this, props to you. Casey Mears in the 66. Um, Nothing too stand out about this. I'm not sure what Gracie is, but it looks solid enough. So we're going to put that in a C. Doesn't look bad by any means. Black number, thank you for that. White background, that'll look good. I probably would have gone with a couple, maybe orange highlights on the splitter and like around the jack stand and such, but that's what they went with. But I believe this is an open car as well, so I can see why they wouldn't do too much of that kind of stuff. Next up, Corey Haim, also locked into the big show. Number 67, Robin Hood car. I gave Bubba Wallace's 23 an A tier last week. I don't know what it is about this car. Maybe I think it's the angles. The 67 on this looks better than the 23. I don't know how to explain it, but it just does. Like, it's a fantastic paint scheme. It's the exact same paint scheme. Actually, I think maybe it is a little bit different. No, I think it's the same. I'd have to go back and look at the files. But A tier once again. Hoping Heim Time gets some more drive time this year. He deserves it. He's the oval driver to Connor Zilich's road course driver rating, I think. They're the two big young stars to kind of watch. So, great looking car. Hopefully he does well. Next up, before I saw this real life picture, I was going to give this a much lower rating, but this looks really good actually. Get a chrome number, and it looks like cards, Moto Casino. Yeah, it's all card stuff. So, this is going to get an A tier, I think. Can't go wrong with the red, white, and blue, and the chrome. I'm sold. Good luck to Michael McDowell. Carson Hocevar in the Spectrum car. I have Spectrum Internet, so there you go. Was kind of expecting it to be a Chili's car for the 500, but I guess Spectrum won out on that one. And I know this car has a big delta kind of shape on the nose, which gives it a really interesting look when it's coming towards the cameras, which is pretty cool. Little gradient on the bumper to blend that together. I appreciate that. I do like these little stripes down on the door and rocker panel blend. I don't know where this green came from, but it's there. I think I'm gonna give this a B rating. It's because there's some kind of questionable decisions, but it does look really good. It's some things I would have liked to see elaborated on. Maybe a red number for Chili's, or a yellow number for Ziegler. Again, I don't know where this green came from outside of Chili's, so I don't know. I'm not quite sure about some of the where some of these things came from. BJ McLeod, currently unsponsored. He's an open car and currently unsponsored as well. I think this is only going to be the F. That's only because it's currently unsponsored. If he makes a big show, he'll get a sponsor. He deserves it. Get yourself locked in, BJ, and keep doing what you're doing out there. Get a logo on that car. If you need a paint scheme, hit me up. I will design one for you and help get that thing wrapped. And Jimmy Johnson, the 84 Carvana car. And there's a little bit more detail to this than what I thought there was originally. More neon on it as well, calling back to his Hendrick days, of course. The Carvana orange is different from the neon yellow. This is not the same number color that's on the roof, which is kind of weird. It does look kind of strange on track, I think, but I still think it's kind of an A tier scheme. Next up, Connor Zilch in the Red Bull Racing. No, Trackhouse Racing. Red Bull 88. These cars look great. Connor's running the blue highlights. SVG's running the red highlights, I believe. And it looks good. Very straightforward. Circle K, that's a new sponsor for Trackhouse. I don't know if that's just for Connor or if that's for all of Trackhouse. But I think that's an A tier paint. And going off of what I said about the energy drinks, there's just more going on with this. Very clear branding, these fades. This is different from last year's Red Bull cars from Trackhouse. It's different from the Red Bull cars from 20 years ago. So you got to give them at least that. But yeah, good looking stuff. And SVG's car, this is really cool. Superfile, new sponsor for Trackhouse, new sponsor to the sport. Love seeing that. Looks like you have this absolute Chad on the side of the door. You have this absolute Chad behind the wheel. So I think second week in a row, SVG's car is going S tier. It just is. It's neon. You got me with that. It looks great. It's unique. Very unique, honestly. Got some Roman classical artwork on the side, essentially. Extrapolated into modern terms, but still really, really cool. Kind of clashing with the Red Bull stuff on the nose, which is cool in its own right. Especially if you followed V8 supercars, they have sponsors all over the place, especially on the nose, because of the camera angles and such. And you get these clashing colors that often look really cool and quite iconic, honestly. So, S tier for SVG once again. And then last but not least, Corey LaJoie in the 99 Chrome Greg Biffle car, a Greg Biffle font number. No idea what Trimble is, but this can be A tier. It's well thought out, space, font, number, all that. So there you have it, the Daytona 500 paint scheme rankings. Let me know in the comments what you think, what should have changed, if I'm being hypocritical or favoriting. I'm trying to not favorite one driver or another with this. I'm obviously, like, I'll admit my biases now. I'm a Trackhouse fan. If I haven't made that clear, I've said I was a Ross Chastain fan earlier, but I like all of Trackhouse. But I'm trying to judge this with just my artistic mind and based on what I see and how I grade things. So, yeah. I think that's about it for this week. Look out for the the O'Reilly and Craftsman Truck Series videos coming soon. We'll get those rated before the races, and you can roast me for hating your favorite driver's paint scheme. Until then, have fun.